All right, so good morning. Thank you. First off, I want to say thanks to Ms. Parsons who put all this together, some donuts and coffee, and this is just kind of a great opportunity to celebrate Students of the Month. So for those of you that may not know, and maybe it's news to all of you, every month, and this is the first one of the year, but every month by department, our teachers select one student to represent the Student of the Month within that department. So sitting here is the one student for the month of October, and I think that's just a great recognition of your hard work and dedication to the content and really just classes in general. So great opportunity, you should be proud. Families, you should be proud. But let's go ahead and get started. So I can mix up the order if I want, so I might do that. Let's start with Miss Loveday. Miss Loveday, if you don't mind coming up.
Come on, Stanley.
I'll down you.
Good morning. All right, Stanley is my selection for Student of the Month. Stanley has started off his 10th grade year in a fantastic manner. He is engaged, he's participating, he's not falling asleep. He's doing a great job, so I wanted to make sure that I recognize that Stanley is maturing into a fine young man, and he is doing a great job.
Can we get a picture?
Wait,
You want to take a picture? Okay.
Did you want to take a picture?
Come over here. We're going to,
There we
after
go.
everybody
Perfect.
gets their
Thank
word,
you.
come on.
Thank you.
Picture for the yearbook.
All right. Now, Ms. Traber may have mentioned that they have a lab going on, so I don't want to take the student or the teacher away. So, Ms. Traber, if you don't mind coming on up.
Thank you. Thank you. I left them in good hands with our chemistry department. But so this is Nora and Miss Traver, and Nora is in my freshman 4th period bio class, and some teachers out there know what that means to have freshman 4th period. It gets a little crazy by the end of the day. But when I found out I was going to do the first Student of the Month, I instantly thought of you. So I've had you in place for almost 6 weeks now. So I chose Nora immediately. She came in brand new student this year, so she didn't have a Schoology account. She didn't have a computer password. There were so many things in the beginning that we had to figure out. But she just rolled with punches every day. She has fit in really well. I think that she has become part of our KIHS family in a very nice way, and I just appreciate all of your hard work and calmness during that 4th period class. So congratulations.
Sorry, I'll make sure I get it. All right. Next up, let's go Miss Paramore. If you don't mind coming on up. Sorry. I'll grab your. Okay.
So good morning, I'm Mrs. Paramore. And I have a presentation. This is Dawson, my Student of the Month. Okay, so my Student of the Month for the CTE department is Dawson Brown, and you're a senior, right?
Yes.
Senior, right. And I teach Dawson in Principles of Art, Media, and Communication. And why did I choose Dawson? After all, there are so many students to choose from, correct? But it really is a difficult job to pick just one student. There are so many that are deserving. However, I find Dawson's work to be exceptional as a beginner, and he puts forth 110% effort, and it shows. He's engaged with every assignment and tackles it with creativity and skills. So this combination results in some of the fabulous pieces you're about to see here soon, so I cannot wait to share them. Dawson is one of the few students that I've had that works bell to bell, always beginning right away, and some days working to and beyond the bell. Never afraid to ask questions or ask for my opinion, as if open to constructive criticism. I could go on about Dawson. I am honored to be able to teach him, and I look forward to the rest of the semester to see what pieces he will generate as we move forward with different skills. I wish him well on his journey next year. Roll heads. And now for some of Dawson's work, and he can speak on this. This is Photoshop piece where we did some recoloring. And which one is the original?
The orange one is the original.
The orange one is the original. The blue one's very good. Next we have an assignment where we were using some gradients in Photoshop, and this is an Air Force One shoe. And Dawson chose to do a Buccaneer shoe using the gradients. Yes. Next we have a Photoshop piece where we were learning to use brushes and some other skills here. And this was a progress practice assignment, and that is excellent. We learned how to do the sun glare and the sunset, and he used the brushes mostly for the rest. And then we had a mastery for a landscape, and this is what Dawson produced. Looks very nice. I'm going to let Dawson talk about this one. This is blending. We blended multiple images for a realistic look, and we added in some text effects. And what is this?
This is a fever coon, which I made in combination with a raccoon, a cat, and a beaver. Now, the hard part was not actually making the, animal itself. The actual difficulty that I came to, had to
Stumbled upon.
stumble upon, was the name, because combining three animals' names into one to make its own animal is quite difficult, and I had to go through a bunch of different, prototype names that weren't really, good names. So I eventually settled with the fever coon, the F being for feline like a cat, Ever for beaver, and then coon for a raccoon, which was about as best you could probably get with those three animals.
I had to stare at it and be like, what is the F animal here? I know, so he told me that it was a feline, so that's a great job. It looks realistic. I mean, all the blending is done very well. This is just a piece of pop art, well, not just a piece, but this is a piece of pop art where we worked with hue and saturation and some colors and their adjustment layers, perfectly well done. And this is, the last piece is a magazine cover that we've done where we learned about the anatomy of a magazine cover. And where's the inspiration for this one, Dawson?
My inspiration for this magazine cover came from my passion for gaming and technology, and it's been part of my life for a while. I wrote a whole college essay about it. I think I did a good job.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did add one yesterday. Okay, so we've moved on from Photoshop to InDesign, and just real quick, this is just, we just started learning InDesign, so this is a piece that, I'm sorry, this is a surprise for you. This is a piece where we are learning how to use some of the vector tools in InDesign. So this is something that he's done, just with a different software. So, drew the lava lamp. So as you can see, well deserving of this award, and congratulations, Dawson. Keep up the good work. There you go. So good job, Dawson. Thank you.
Before I turn this off, any other teachers with a presentation? Going once, going twice.
Sorry. Hope I didn't go too long.
Nope, all good.
Okay.
All right, nice job, Dawson. All right, so perhaps no teacher wants to follow that, but I'm gonna go to our world languages, Miss Nicholson. Let's see.
So for world languages, I've selected Chris Cool for our Spanish 2 Student of the Month. Chris impresses me every day. He is always on task with me. He always volunteers for the warm-up to answer all my questions. He's always engaged, and he's a real leader in his group because we do a lot of collaboration and group work in Spanish as we speak. And I knew yesterday that I'd absolutely chosen the right student when I overheard him saying to his group, "Come on guys, let's focus. We're missing the point of this task." And that's what I appreciate so much about Chris. I never have to worry about is he on task, where's his assignment, it's always in on time. And something else I've enjoyed that I didn't really realize until probably a month in about spending my career here on Kent Island is getting to know the families. And it turns out I've taught 2 of Chris's sisters, and he even knew the names of some of my salchichas before he even came to my class because his sisters told him about my salchichas. So thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Poole, for the pleasure of teaching your children and Chris.
All right, Miss Beckett from our English department. Come on up.
Good morning, everybody. I am Kim Beckett. I'm representing the English department, and this is my student of the month, Ava Mason. I told her to bring her nervous energy. I feel like we did it. We got it. Yeah. Ava gets to work with me twice a day. I'm one of the few teachers in the building who gets to see different sides of students because I teach different classes. And so I have Ava in my mythology class, which is year-long, so we're together all year. And yes, right? Yes. And also she's in my AP language class, which is a semester class, so just one semester on that one. And I think she's happy about that. Okay. So Ava is all the things that everybody's already said. She's an excellent student. She turns in fantastic work. She's personable. She's kind. She's on top of everything. I picked her, though, for all of those reasons, obviously all of those reasons, but also because she really brightens my day. She is filled with stress all the time, and she does it in this big dramatic way. I love drama. I'm an English teacher, and so Ava is super dramatic and super fun every day. It is the end of the world every day, and so I have such a great time with her. And she visits me every day. Like, I teach her twice a day, and then in between, she visits me on her way back from lunch. So we get to have a little chat every day, like, you know, without any school stuff, which is great. I taught her brother, which I discovered, 2 days ago. I was like, who's your brother? And she told me, and I was like, I never put the pieces together. Her mom is an AP language teacher, which is what I teach her in, which I had forgotten, and then she reminded me of that, and I'm like, right, your mom's in the same thing that I teach you in. And she speaks Spanish to some extent, and I think that this is so nice because I have Spanish-speaking students in both halves of my third period, our mythology classes, and she comes in and she'll talk to them in Spanish sometimes, and it's so nice, it's so sweet, and to make everybody feel included, and I love that about her. So there's really nothing I don't love about Ava, and that's why she's my student of the month.
Oh, thank you. If you're looking for someone to sing the national anthem for any reason,
Ava can sing
reach
that.
out to. Oh yeah, she's very, very good. She'll be mad at me for saying that, but she's very, very good. All right, from our math department, Miss Adelsberger.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am Mrs. Adelsberger, and I chose Emily Mayo as the Math Student of the Month. So this has been the hardest time I've ever had to pick because this year I have all honors and I'm now teaching the AP Calc, so I have just like the top tier of the top tier. And I'm looking around this room and I have many of them in here because they're all wonderful. But Emily really just stood out to me. She hits all those check marks. She's got that growth mindset. She's so positive about learning. She helps all her peers. When I'm asking hard questions or making sure everyone's with me, I always know I can look to Emily to see and look for that nod. But she's just so positive, and I love her passion for math. There was one day, there's always more than one way that we can solve a problem. And she asked, well, could we do it this way? And we always look at them and then we explore, but what it ended up being like over a full sheet of paper to get through this one problem the way we were looking, and together we were both like, yay! Like, I felt that way. I felt like you were equally as excited as I was when we got to the end, and it was the same, because we were like, it should work, it should, and we're going, and anyway, good times with a page of calculus. But it was very, oh my Cal kids, right? It's exciting when that happens, so we were very happy. And anyway, you know, some kids would just be like, well, I'll just do it the way the teacher did it, but she doesn't do that. She wants to try these other ways and help discover. So it was really fun. And I know she's not signed up for AP in the spring, but maybe she'll change her mind. But thank you for all that you do. You bring a positive energy to the class, and it's just a joy to have you.
All right. Let's turn to our physical education department. Ms. Schenker, why don't you come on up?
Good morning, I'm Mrs. Schenker, and I have chosen Valerie Couture to be our Student of the Month. I guess the first one of the year is always, in some ways, the most difficult, but this one was really easy because I was thinking back to even the first week of school and who kind of stood out right off the bat, and it was definitely her. So Ms. Traver talked about having freshmen fourth period. When you have them for PE, it's actually kind of a good thing because they're not afraid to sweat. Although I don't think that if she had PE any other period, she would participate any less. She, right off the bat with the fitness testing, she was kind of going harder than a lot of people do. She was really trying, and even when we were doing retesting for the people who were absent, she kind of retested with them. So she wanted to see if she could already improve, and it had only been a couple of days. So, you know, even running out on the track, you know, people try to find excuses for why they don't need to run again. And she's like, no, I'm going to try to run again and run more or try to beat my time. So that's really impressive. She recently has an injury, so she's not really able to participate quite as much. But she jumps in and finds a way to be involved in every single thing that we're doing. So I might assign teams, set everybody out on their courts, and she's like, okay, I'm scorekeeper. And she's got the scoreboard, and she's ready to be involved in the game. So it's really nice to have students like that, especially when they're injured. Sometimes they find themselves, you know, becoming less and less involved, but she stays right in there. She's a really good team player. She works really well with everybody in the class. And I don't know if it's my voice in the gym that she always pays attention to, but it could be so loud in there, and I could give a direction, and she may be the only person that hears it. So I don't know if you're just really good at listening to my voice or what, but that's really helpful, so she can start getting people rounded up as well. So you're a really great addition to the many kids that we have in that class, and you made an impact right off the bat, so congratulations. There you go. We need to follow this person.
All right. Let's go to social studies. Ms. Phelps, if you'll come on up.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ms. Phelps. I'm so glad to be with you here this morning. So I got to pick Anthony Stokes for my Student of the Month for Social Studies, and I knew probably week 2 that Anthony was going to be my pick. I volunteered to be the social studies person that took the first one because, like Ms. Schenker said, it's a little bit difficult sometimes. But I knew right away that it was Anthony Stokes. So Anthony has been locked in first period as a junior every day, which says a lot if you don't know. He's awake, he's ready to go, he's locked in. He's always volunteering, he's always speaking up, asking questions, which is fantastic, especially first period, because we're a little tired sometimes, but not Anthony. He is more than willing to help people. People are always going to him for some help with their assignments or some advice or whatever it happens to be. He is an awesome student, and I will say what kicked it over the edge for me was he fully committed to Spirit Week this week, to the point where he wore his mom's dress to school for Dress Like Your Type. So, Anthony, I'm so proud of you. I love your personality. You're an awesome kid, and I'm so grateful that I got to pick you. So congratulations.
right, we're down to the final two. So let's go from visual arts, Miss Neno, going up.
Wait till the end. All right, so I'm Miss Neno. I teach all the 3D art here, and I chose Scott for my Student of the Month. And when our department was selecting our Student of the Month, Scott was the first one that jumped out to my mind, and my department wholeheartedly agreed. Scott is currently taking 3D AP Art, but I have also had the pleasure of teaching him in 3D 2 and 3, right? And then also in middle school a long time ago. So I've known Scott for a while. And I was really new to pottery when I took the 3D art position. So Scott and I have kind of been on this journey together since I've started here. And he is definitely by far like the best potter at Ken Island High School right now, all thanks to me. No, just kidding. He does some stuff better than I do now at this point. Scott and I, though, have very different brains. He has a very logical, mathematical brain, and I'm more of like, let's just wing it and see what happens. And Dawson can also agree with that, too. So we pushed each other to kind of learn all kinds of new things. I've done lots of research. I told Scott the other day, like, I think half the tabs open on my computer are stuff that I've been looking up for you. And then, you know, I've helped Scott kind of open up and find the beauty in the random and unpredictable nature of pottery. So we've definitely pushed each other in different directions. While it hasn't always been easy, we've definitely helped each other grow, I think. So Scott was my obvious choice for this award for so many reasons, but he is a student that is literally in my room all the time, almost as much as I am, some days even more, if he stays after school and works. So he just kind of has free range. He's gone through a ton of play this year, but all for the best reasons. He's kind of become a celebrity in the school. Everyone that sees his work is like, oh my God, how'd you do that? Can you make me one? Can I buy that from you? Like kids right and left trying to buy his work, which is really, really awesome. And he's like, oh, that one's not that good. I don't really like it, whatever. He's definitely a celebrity. The students have affectionately named his future business Scott's Pots. I think I'm gonna make a sign for outside of my room. But they're all very interested in seeing his work all the time. Even though he wants to major in engineering, I've heard he will only go to schools that also have a ceramics program, which like makes my heart happy. I have no doubt that whatever career path he chooses, he's going to be super successful, and hopefully one day I can shop at Scott's Pots.
How did you know? So last but certainly not least from our performing arts department, Miss Wright.
Right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's Friday. It's a great day to be here. Every day to be alive. As we say in Ken Island during the Buck Report, today's going to be a good day. All right, here we are. So I would like to introduce to you Kylie Hynock. Kylie is an intelligent student. She is extremely independent. She is kind and she is thoughtful. She is also extremely talented when it comes to remembering choreography. We can be in the studio and we get stuck and we're like, wonder what comes next. And we all turn to Kylie and she knows exactly what's going on, thank goodness. Kylie has been assisting me for several years, but this year she is officially the student director of the dance company. So anything that happens with dance company, it actually comes through Kylie. So I don't send anything out, it's all through Kylie. She is in charge. Sorry, I have cheat sheets because I talk really fast sometimes. Additionally, Kylie is one of 2 recipients for our National Honor Dance Society. So you can clap for her, that's awesome. So Ken Island had never had a National Honors Dance Society, and Kylie was one of our 2 people. So we're looking forward to having more students, but we're also looking forward to seeing what Kylie does with that, because she has some stuff to do. She just doesn't know it. Here, I got a thing over here. So Kylie is not only a dancer, but she's also an entrepreneur. She has her own I think it's clothing line on some beautiful website. What's the website called?
Colorful World.
There you go, Colorful World. So if you're looking for some great clothes, check out Kylie's website. She's also been accepted into SCAD for design. So I'm super excited to see what Kylie does because girlfriend's got it going on. Lastly, Kylie is extremely responsible, so responsible that when I walked in this morning, Mr. Reagan goes, "Oh man, I was looking for Kylie and her lovely partner here," because he said, "I know they will get the job done quickly and efficiently." And just as an aside, I've lost my keys. Sorry. I've lost my keys, and I was just back there going, I wonder if Kylie can help me find them, because I don't know where they are. She's extremely... Okay, great, thanks. She's extremely responsible. Listen, it has been a pleasure to have taught Kylie for the last 4 years. If you ever have a chance to talk to her, she's fabulous. So it is my pleasure to give you the Student of the Month for dance. There you go.
All right, so I won't keep you too much longer, but I do want you to say, your students, thank you for making Kent Island High School just a great place. I mean, you could see the joy in the teachers' faces. You put that on their face, so thank you. Parents and families, you should be very, very proud. There were 10 that were honored as October's Student of the Month, so 1 of 10 out of 1,220 or so that we have in the building. Again, we have many, many great students, but you stood out this month and really the beginning of the year as ones that should be honored. So again, congratulations. If you didn't get a chance to get a donut or some coffee, please do so, and have a great morning.
We're going to take a group picture.